Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Stampin' Up with Jamie. Thank you so much for joining me tonight on this, Thanksgiving Eve. I hope everyone is well and ready for the big day tomorrow. I have been cooking and baking, and oh my goodness, I just stopped a couple of hours ago, but everything is prepped and ready to go tomorrow. My family and I are super excited for Thanksgiving. So if you are on, give me a shout out and help me know that I am live in the right spot and that this is working right. And then we're going to begin. I have a fun gift card holder for us tonight. I normally don't vary, let's say, from card making. But this gift card holder I did a couple years ago with different paper and whatnot, and it was super popular. And so I thought I would go ahead and do it again, and this time just kind of use like new product that we have available and give you a sense of like more of a updated version that you can do. Hi everyone, happy Thanksgiving Eve. Thanks for joining me. I'm sure everyone's super busy tonight, and I appreciate you being here with me tonight. So gift cards can be one of those tricky things. My teenager loves them, and they are certainly easy and fun to give, but doesn't mean that it has to be a boring gift. And I just realized something. But it doesn't have to be a boring gift. It can definitely be dazzled up and really pretty and have a very nice presentation. So this is what I have for you tonight. I'm using the Poinsettia Petals bundle. I think it's my favorite bundle of the fall and winter mini catalog. So that's what I went with. And then there's a belly band that comes off, so that slides off. And then this, and I meant to grab one of my gift cards so that you could see. A gift card would fit perfectly right in here. I forgot to grab one. I went upstairs and got distracted and forgot to do it. But it does hold a gift card down here in this bottom slot. And it's really easy to do. If I can do it, you can do it. I normally stick with my cards. That's my paper crafting, but this is super easy. I will say that the design comes from Sue Moore. I pulled the idea off of her website. I did change up a couple of things, but the idea and the general gist of it is hers, and I want to make sure I give her credit. So, to start off, you're going to need a piece of cardstock. Now, if you had a regular 8.5 by 11, you could get 2 gift cards out of each sheet. Okay, so hold on. Let me show you what I mean. Let me just grab a piece of. I already cut this one, but hold on. Okay. So this is our 8.5 by 11. This is real red that I'm using because it coordinates with the designer series paper that I'm matching it with. And what you would do is you would, first, if you wanted to get 2 out of an 8.5 by 11, you would put your, it this way. Okay. So long ways or short ways, depending on how you look at it. And you would cut it 7 3/4. And then you would flip it and you would cut it 5. Okay, so that's how you get 2. You can make 2 gift card holders out of one 8.5 by 11 is putting it this way. So like the narrow side, you would cut at 7 3/4. You would flip it, and then you're going to cut it at 5. And then you could cut it at 5 again. Okay, so what you're left with is a 5 by 7 3/4. And again, this is real red that I'm using here. It coordinates with my designer paper. And I'm making a holiday gift card. Oh, I did do this one. Let me show you this one. This one I don't love that as much. I don't know. The colors, there's something about them. But it's just to give you a gist that you could also just put a sentiment on the front. You don't necessarily have to put, a die cut or something like that. You could just keep a sentiment on the front. But I like this one more. So this is the one we're showing tonight. Okay, so again, 5 by 7 3/4. Whoops. Okay, now we're going to have to do some scoring. So I like to score with the scorer. Oh, sorry, you're getting reflections off my outlights. I apologize. Because I feel like it gives a deeper score than our trimmer does. But, you could use the trimmer if you wanted. I prefer the scorer. So here you're going to score 2.5 and then 6. Okay, so 2.5 and then 6. Okay. Hopefully nothing falls. I have so much stuff. I wish you could see all the stuff around me. I have so much stuff all around me. Okay, I'm not gonna fold it yet. Let's do the designer series paper, and then I'll show you why I didn't fold it yet. So I'm using a plaid pattern from the 'Tis the Season designer series paper. So I'm using my favorite bundle and my favorite paper. This is maybe why I love this one. So, and my favorite ribbon. Oh my goodness, I'm like hitting them all. So this is a pattern again from the 'Tis the Season designer series paper. Very traditional looking. The red in there, I believe, is real red, and so that's why I went with that. And you're gonna need 2 pieces. Your first piece is 1.5 by 4 3/4. And the second one is 2 1/4 by 4 3/4. So they're both 4 3/4 wide. One is 1.5 and one is 2 1/4. Okay. And they are going to go in this little panel that we scored up here. Do you see my score line? So this little bit up here, and then the other one is going to go in my bottom scored portion. I don't know how you want to say that. Whatever. That bottom part and the top part. That's how we're going to say that. And I'm just going to get some adhesive on this, and it fits with a nice little band around it. A little peekaboo coming through. Whoops. Well, I didn't think it caught, but it did. Okay, and then this one's going to go on the bottom. Don't do that middle. The middle is the back here. Well, I guess if you wanted, I suppose if you wanted. I don't know, you'd have to figure out that measurement, but you could put one there. Okay, this bottom portion here is this inside part. And so if you want like a little, gosh, I don't know what that's called, a finger or something? Finger, whatever it's called. I took this tiniest circle from the Layering Circles dies. It's the itty bitty one. It's tiny, tiny. It is, gosh, it's like, I don't know, 1 3/8 or so. And I'm going to cut out a little piece from this part here. Now, I could do it this way, but you're going to end up with like a little like ring left behind. And so I'm actually going to cut out, there you go, a notch, a slot. Thank you. You know me. I get so tongue-tied. I never know what anything's called. Whatever this thing is called. A notch, a slot, they both work. Thanks, ladies. I'm going to cut it from the inside. So it's not going to mark up, you know, the part that you see. So here's the thing. You could measure it and make sure you get center, but I'm not. I'm just going to kind of eyeball it. And you don't want to go too deep. I just want like a little bit cut off. So it's like not even quite halfway. I don't know. It's like a third of the way down on my circle. Okay, so I'm going to position that, run it through my die cutting machine. And I will show you the result. Okay, and that's what we're left with, a little notch or a slot or a slit. Now, again, I didn't do it the other side because if you see the other side, there's like this little ring that it leaves behind. And I didn't want it to show. Now, if you don't care, just cut it out of the front here. No big deal. Doesn't look too centered, but that's okay. Someone's going to be getting a gift card. They're just going to be grateful, right? That's what I'm going with. Okay, now we can fold everything over and use our bone folder. Get a nice crease. Like so. Okay. Now this has to get adhered down. So I am going to use, where is it? Here it is. Tear and tape. No. Tear. Gosh, what is this stuff called? Tear and, well, someone will find it. Tear and tape, I think it's called. Why doesn't that not sound right though? Tear and tape. This stuff is great for 3D projects. It really holds everything in place. Nothing's going to move. I'm just kind of ripping it off, hence the tear part of it. And I'm not going all the way down. I could, but you don't necessarily need to, honestly. The most important, it is tear and tape. Okay, I said that, Linda, and I'm like, that doesn't sound right. Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. The important part is that you catch the top here. You wouldn't want like this little bit flapping. So anytime I'm adhering tape down and I'm making the gift card, I definitely start like on this part of it and make my way in. That way, if it's not long enough, then the bottom part there doesn't matter. Hope that makes sense. And thanks, Terry. The tricky thing with this is getting that top part off. It can be a little finagly. There we go, I think. Okay. I think that's it. Now, another tip is when you're adhering this down, don't press flat. Okay, I literally am very loosely putting this down. See how it's almost like there's a little space in there? I find that that helps give room for your gift card holder. So it's not like I didn't really crease it down and make it like super, super flat. I just kind of like gently folded it over and made sure that it did make contact. So it is glued, you know, adhered down. It's not going anywhere, but that I also have enough room, like a little pocket here, for where the gift card can go. Oh, I just realized I never cut a Whisper White. Okay, hold on. I gotta cut a quick Whisper White. Gosh, I always forget something. It's inevitable. It's so bad. Hold on, let me just quickly cut this. 1.5. Okay, so to do this little panel in here, you're gonna need the same size as the front, so 1.5 by 4 3/4. And gosh, there's a lot you can do with this. You could leave it blank and you could write your message. You could just have a big old chunky Merry Christmas or whatever, right? But I went with, where's my example? I went with a to and from because you could, you know, address it. And then I didn't have anywhere on my front Merry Christmas. So I wanted to make sure I had a Merry Christmas sentiment. And then I added just a little detail. And I didn't grab any of my inks. Oh my goodness. I think I'm in Thanksgiving food mode already. I'm forgetting everything. That's what I'm going to blame it on. Cooking all day and baking all day and dreaming of turkey and football and family time tomorrow. My brain, that's what I'm going to blame it on. Okay, so let me show you where I got all my stuff from. The little like greenery is from the Poinsettia Petals stamp set. That's going to be stamped in shaded spruce. And then the other two are from the Itty Bitty Christmas. I haven't used this in a while, and this is one of my favorite Christmas stamp sets for sentiments. It has everything you could ever imagine, and then some. So I went looking. I'm like, I need a to and a from, and of course, the Itty Bitty Christmas has one. So there's that. And then, gosh, I could have picked a number of Christmas sentiments, but I went with a traditional, just blessed Christmas wishes. And those both will be stamped. I don't know, what did I stamp them in? Oh, it looks like the sentiment I did in shaded spruce too. So let's do those, and then we'll get working on the belly band. So again, that greenery is going to go in shaded spruce. And I think I had it like this. I don't really remember. Actually, what I should do first is the to and from, because that was a little tricky for me to get it straight. So let me do that one next, and hopefully I put it on my block. It's a cling, so cling can be a little tricky when you're trying to get something. Let me just test it to see how straight it is. Oh, that's pretty straight. Okay, so to and from, real red. Yeah, I think that's good enough. We're going to call it good enough. And then our sentiment, I'm going to do it back in the shaded spruce, the blessed Christmas wishes. And let me test to see how straight that is. That's pretty straight too. And I'm kind of going for center and a little high up. Let's see how this looks. Oh, that's pretty good. We're going to go with it. Okay. Again, you could do anything on this. You could like leave it, you don't even have to add it. Like you could just leave that the real red if you wanted. But I thought it was nice to include a to and from, whoops, and then, why is my adhesive not liking me tonight? There we go. A little Christmas message, a little stamped detail, and then a to and a from. Okay. Coming along nicely. Okay, so let's work on this really cute belly band. Honestly, for me, this is like the beautiful part of it. This is like the, oh, that's so pretty. Maybe we'll make like a Christmas ornament out of it. I don't know. I would hate for someone to throw this away, honestly. I'm sure they do, but I'm in denial about it. To me, they're saving it for years and years and years to come, and they're not throwing it away. Okay, so for your belly band, You need whatever color you're working with. I'm sticking with the real red, and this is 1.5 by 7 3/4. Okay, and you got to get your score out again. We got to do some scoring. And for this one, we're going to score at 2.5 and 6 1/8. Make sure you get that 1/8 in there, or else it's going to be too tight. Oops, did I do that off screen? I'm sorry. So 2.5 by 6 1/8. Make sure you get that 1/8 in there, or else it's going to be too tight, and it's going to be too tight. Okay, so we're going to fold it up. Now, here's another trick, or I don't know if it's a trick, just a tip. There's 2 ways you can fold it, okay? You can either fold sort of like the long end over the short end, okay? Or you can fold the short end over the long end. I would suggest that you fold the short end over the long end so that your seam is more in the middle. If I do it the other way around, my seam is more to the left, and in order to hide it, you just have to make sure, I mean, maybe this would hide it, probably, right? But if not, you would want to make sure you have a circle or something big enough to cover that seam. You still want to cover the seam on this one, but it's a little bit more on the centered side as opposed to doing it the other way around. So again, I have a long side and a short side, and I would suggest you putting your adhesive, again, the tear and tape, on the underside of the small piece. Underside of the small piece. And then I'm going to fold down that. And again, same trick when you are adhering this together. Make sure you don't really hold it tight. Press it down. Just kind of loosely have them come together so that it kind of bubbles a little bit, or buckles. You want it to buckle, because if you don't, it's going to be too tight and then you're going to be in trouble. But see, it fits perfectly. It's like tight enough that it's not falling off, but definitely loose enough that I can move that around. Okay, I'm going to set all that aside. Let's work on my poinsettia for a second. Whoops. Oh boy. I can't pick up the little pieces. Okay, so I used the gorgeous, oh my goodness, I love them so much, poinsettia dies. I think I could have created every single one of my Christmas cards with this bundle. The poinsettia dies. And in it makes a poinsettia. So I cut out a large leaf, a medium, and then a small. And then I have a little bit, oops, there's a little dot in there. There we go. A little inside piece. There's a die that will cut out the outside, and then there's a die that will cut out the inside. You can run them through your die machine together. Let me show you, hold on. So for like the big one here, this cuts out the outside, okay? And then this embosses it. So you can use one or the other or them together, and I use them together. And like that, no, like that. There we go. So you can put that on your cardstock, run that through your die machine, and it will cut and emboss at the same time, which is really nice because you get this beautiful veining. Veining, is that a word? Veins through the petals. And all I did is I wanted it to be a little, no, I want the other way. I wanted it to be a little bit on the 3D side. So I'm just using my bone folder and kind of curling my petals in. Normally I curl my petals out, but I thought it was really pretty with them sort of curled in. I normally do it the other way. Now, be careful. Don't be too heavy-handed when you do this, because I was. And for my sample tonight, I was doing this like la 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 rip, and I totally pulled a petal completely off. So, oops. But I just adhered it on, and no one will know no one's the wiser except now you know. But just be careful. Don't go too rough with it. If you do, just glue it back on. No big deal. Okay, so you have the 3 of these, and I'm going to use liquid glue. I like to, when I'm layering these up, I don't try and go too opposite. I try and go like almost a third of the way. And then the other one, I go the other third of the way. And if you do that, it's pretty. That's why I do that. Okay, so put a little bit of glue on the back. And whoops, you know, I don't want to go completely one-sided, although I think I'm going to do this kind of quickly. Oops. That way, if I want to play with it a little bit, I can while the glue isn't completely dry. Yeah, I'm going to play with this baby a little. That one like that, and that one like that. There we go. Okay, so I have my petal done. My poinsettia, I mean. Okay, and then this little guy, I probably would have used one of those, what are they, beaded pearls, I think they're called, but I'm completely out. I don't have any. I can't believe it. So if you had a beaded pearls, I think is what they're called, that would be perfect. And I would have used that, but I don't have one. I've used all mine. I need to order more. Whoops. Oh, I thought I dropped it. So I just cut out with that same die. There's like this little center detail. One of the center details has holes and one just has embossed. I used the one that has holes. Okie dokie. Where did, oh, there they are. Okay. Using those same poinsettia dies, I cut out 2 leaves. There are 2 sizes. One's bigger than the other. And this was cut out of shaded spruce cardstock. By the way, this is real red. I'm not sure if I said. Oops. Shaded spruce cardstock. Again, it embosses and cuts. So beautiful. I love it. So pretty. And I only have them on one side because, I don't know, that's what I wanted. And I think I'm going to use, where is it? The tear and tape. Just to make sure everything is held together. Oh, that's a little on the long side. Hold on. That's the nice thing about this. You could just rip it off if it's too big or too small. Where do I want my leaves? I think I want them over here. So I'm just going to put some tear and tape there, press it down, peel it off if I can. Oh, this stuff, I love how strong it is, but it can be a little tricky to pull off. And then I like to do my leaves while I'm like holding it, so I can kind of play with how high up I want it or how deep I want them. They are called beaded pearls. Okay, thanks, Karen. You guys always have my back. I'm always like, I don't know what that's called. I get so, not flustered. I just forget. It's like the names go right out of my head. Okay, so there's our poinsettia. By the way, Karen, I love how we both use this set today. Different, but your card was gorgeous before. So pretty. Now, I used the same layering circles just to cut out a simple whisper white circle. This is, it's like 2.5 inches in total. And it just kind of acts as like a grounding place for the poinsettia. So did I absolutely need it? No. But if I had done the poinsettia right onto the band here, I would have lost it because they're both red. So if you don't want to do this circle, like no problem, I would just switch up one of the colors. Make sure your detail here isn't the same color as your band, or else you lose it. So that was my reasoning behind doing a circle. But you don't need it. I just thought it kind of grounded the poinsettia a little bit. Okay. Now we're going to wind on around some beautiful gold twine. Let's see. I knew I wouldn't remember where it's from. I use it all the time. The Wonder of Season ribbon combo pack. So it's a combo pack. Comes with this beautiful shaded spruce, but this gold is beautiful. It's got some nice oomph to it. It's not too flimsy, as you can see. It really kind of has like this natural curl to it. And all I did is I went long because I can always trim. I don't want you facing up. I want you lying down. There you go. And then I did one big loop. And then I did one big loop. Now, before I go trimming, okay, that's a little long. Don't trim it yet. Play with it until you get the size that you want, the look that you want, because you can always pull it off. Although I am using the tear and tape, it will come off for me to be able to, yeah, I think that's good. I could pull it up and kind of play with the sizing, and the look of it. It does kind of have a mind of its own, I will tell you, this stuff. So, which is kind of nice though, because it does this natural sort of I trimmed it and then I didn't like it. It has this natural sort of curl to it, I guess is how I would say that. Okay. Now, so I put tear and tape on the bottom. I really want to make sure this twine isn't going anywhere. So I'm going to use the tear and tape again, but this time I just like a piece of adhesive to hold everything down. I'm not going to peel the top off. I'm just putting it over to make sure that twine isn't going anywhere. And then I'm going to put my poinsettia. I love my poinsettia so much. Did I bring dimensionals? I did. Of course I have to use dimensionals. And I'm going to put them on my circle here because I don't really know if I were to put them on my poinsettia, I don't want them overlapping my ribbon here because then it wouldn't lay flat. So I'm going to put my dimensionals the opposite way than maybe I would normally. All around my ribbon. Oops. Make sure those are glued down. Peel them off. Okay, and then I added just a mini one there to make sure that little spot. I don't want my leaves touching the gold. Did I? How did I do that? No, I didn't. Okay. We're going with that. And then these are a little long. I can always trim them. Maybe I'll trim them just a smidge, not too much. I like long tails, especially when you're making a big statement like this. Okay. We're almost done. So now when you have your band, you're going to want to cover your seam here. So just make sure, again, I'm just going to use my tear and tape. It's when you're making a 3D project, it's definitely your friend. Is that too big? No. It's perfect. It really will hold everything in place. Nothing's going anywhere. It's perfect. Peel that off. And then, you know what? I'm going to do it with it on because I really want to get a feel for, do I want it like that? I think I do. I think I want it like that. Well, I'm committing. I put it down. It's going there whether I like it or not. Okay. And we're done. So you could add a sentiment to the front. I just didn't quite know where I wanted it or how to situate it. So I went no sentiment on the front. I think it's pretty obvious that it's something Christmas related, especially if you're giving it to someone as a gift. And then your just simple sentiment in the inside, a to in the from, and then your gift card would fit. It does. I forgot to bring one down. I meant to, but a gift card fits there perfectly. So just a great way. And this is a little more like bedazzled up. You could just keep it more simple like my other sample here with just the sentiment on the front. For this one on the inside, I just did the to and from. I kept it a little bit more on the simple side. They come together really well. I have sold these at craft fairs and done them as, sold them for friends and family that are looking to give gift cards. And they come together super quickly if you're like mass producing them. So I love this gift card. I highly recommend you giving it to your loved ones if you plan on giving gift cards. There's the other one that I made. So if you have any questions, certainly let me know by all means. And I hope everyone has a wonderful, wonderful Thanksgiving tomorrow. I hope you stay safe and you eat lots of yummy food. Just know that you blessed me and I'm very, very grateful for all of you and for my Stampin' Up! Business. I am definitely a blessed woman for sure. So everyone have a great and safe holiday tomorrow and I will see you back next Wednesday evening. Bye, everyone.